Lemons, what's up? It's Pixelate here, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speculation/wishlist video. This is the second out of the third video from the same Q&A session that Sim Guru Grant had on Twitter last weekend. I would have had this one up a lot sooner, but I was on vacation in New York City and I didn't get a lot of time to film there, so of course I'm doing it now as I get back home. So the topics covered in today's video are service animals, color wheels, 2019 content, and much more. Let's jump into the tweets, guys. Our first tweet comes from Steampunk Annie. They tweet, what would you say is the most annoying demand from the fans? Spiral staircases or university? And Sim Guru Grant quoted that tweet and said, I love and appreciate all of your insights. I know, before you say it, this tweet really doesn't have too much relevance to the video, but I wanted to include it to point something out. When Simmers create tweets like this and tweet the gurus, I kind of like it in a way because it kind of puts it into their mind, you know, that we want those features. They worded it in a way like, hey, what are you most annoyed by? But they put some of the things that are requested often because they want to make sure that the Sim Gurus are aware of it and that we really, really want it. In this case, spiral staircases and university. I've been dying for university in my game and I cannot wait to have it in my game. Do I think it's coming in the future? Yes, 100%. University came with The Sims 2. It came with The Sims 3, and it was one of the best-selling packs for both of those games. So for it to not come in The Sims 4 eventually would just be really weird and pointless, honestly, because EA could make a lot of money from that expansion pack. But spiral staircases is definitely another feature that I've been wanting for a long time, and not just spiral stairs, but L-shaped stairs. And there was one comment below this tweet of someone asking for carpeted stairs, and I really want that as well, and I didn't really realize it until now. I wanted to read off this tweet because I wanted to talk about that. We've been playing The Sims 4 for how many years? 5 years? And all we have are literally wooden stairs. I realized that we really don't have any carpeted stairs. And in a lot of homes, the stairs are carpeted. Every house that I grew up in had carpeted stairs, except for where I live now. Then, you know, we have wooded stairs. But being able to have carpeted stairs and being able to change the carpet on those sets of staircases, the same way you can change the carpet on your flooring inside of your houses, would be really awesome. You can get them to match and everything. I really hope that that is definitely something that we see in the future, and that is definitely something that I'm adding to my wish list, along with university, of course. The chance of university coming to the game, I'm putting that at 90% chance, guys. That's just a no-brainer. It's one of the best-selling expansion packs for The Sims 3 and The Sims 2. It brought so many gameplay features, lots of create a sim assets, build, buy assets, and more. Now, on the other hand, spiral staircases as well as L-shaped staircases. I think that they're going to patch these into the game in the future, or who knows, maybe they could actually come with a future expansion pack or something. I'm going to put that at about a 70% chance. This is one of the most requested features and has been for about a year and a half, 2 years now. I'm pretty sure the gurus know of it, they're aware of it, and they're probably going to put it in the game at some point. So I'm going to put that at about a 70% chance, maybe even up to a 75% chance. Our next tweet comes from Mav and Clyde. They tweet, what cultural place would you want to put in The Sims 4? Like an Indian world, French world, more than Windenburg, etc. And Grant quoted the tweet and responded, Africa. I mentioned this in the last video, but this tweet was not included in my last video because I actually have them grouped into separate videos. I did a little work and I wanted to, divide them up evenly between videos. So I wanted to wait until this video to talk about this. And I agree with him so much. We need more African themed content. And no, I'm not just talking about clothing styles that are inspired by African cultures. I'm talking about objects as well. I believe recently we got one of those free updates and it came with the Diwali content, I think, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. And that was really nice. It was kind of like a showcase at some of the, other cultures around the world, but I feel like we still don't have enough in the game, specifically enough of diverse cultures, not just the same one or the same 2 or 3. I kind of want clothing and build buy assets inspired by cultures from all around the world, not just a few places. I feel like that would be nice. So my top picks would definitely be African culture, Eastern European culture. I definitely love to see more Eastern Asian themed clothing and build buy assets, and maybe even some Polynesian inspired items. I feel like with a more diverse catalog, the game could just be so much more fun than it is right now. Players from all around the world would be able to tell unique stories, disabilities, and most importantly, just feel represented in such a big game, you know? I feel like this is lacked in a lot of modern games. So of course, having items and clothing from all around the world would just be awesome for everyone. Percent chance of this type of thing coming to the game, I'm putting it at a 95% chance, and that's because Grant has actually talked in the past about implementing new cultures into the game. I know it's something that they're actively working on, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was something that was coming in 2019. Is it something I'd add to my wish list? Hell yes. I apologize for veering off topic. I know this tweet was kind of discussing adding in a place, such as a African-themed world, but I really wanted to talk about the clothing and build buy assets, because that to me is just very important, is having that gameplay in there. But yes, I do think having an African-themed world, kind of like how Windenburg is inspired by Europe, would just be so beautiful, and I can't even imagine what they would do with it, especially if we did get a lot of those African culture assets with the world. It would be awesome. Our next tweet comes from Daniel. They tweet, so if y'all consider adding disabilities, will people who own Sims for pets be able to use their dogs and foxes as service animals? And SimGuru Grant replied, probably not, as it would only work for people who own cats and dogs. This was really disappointing to read because I've been wanting something like this in the game for a long time. I feel like this could be an awesome feature to add, and I'm kind of disappointed that he's basically saying that it's not coming to the game. See, I'm not sure how they would even add disabilities in. I know they're pondering it, I know they're studying it, I know that they know that it's highly requested, but once they add that in, they could make it so that if you have cats and dogs, then you get the service animals that help your disabled Sims. That could easily be like a pack integrated feature. They've done things like this in the past where if you have other packs, you unlock new features, so I don't see why they can't do it in the future. Percent chance of it coming, probably like 0 to 5%, just because he's saying probably not. Wish list 100%. If we're gonna have disabled Sims, I feel like having service animals to help our disabled Sims would be awesome too. I would definitely add that to my wish list. What do you guys think? Would you guys like to have service animals in the game? Put your comments down below. Our next tweet comes from Shannon. They tweet, is there going to be a horses pack? And Grant quoted the tweet responding, I cannot answer this, but I physically struggle not answering with the nay every time I get this question. I wanted to include this tweet for discussion purposes. He doesn't really give any details about it. He doesn't even give a vague answer. He basically avoids the question completely. Do I think horses are ever coming to The Sims 4? No, only because there's no open world. So you gotta think about that. If we had horses with no open world, only open neighborhoods, and we had a farm, we wouldn't really even be able to use them to their full potential. We wouldn't be able to really, walk around the whole world without hitting loading screens, which would be kind of pointless. But even if we hit loading screens, I feel like I would still be okay with it. It would be fun because they would probably add tons of new interactions with the horses that we didn't have in The Sims 3. But I just still don't see it happening for some reason. I feel like that sort of thing would have come with pets, and since it didn't come with cats and dogs, I definitely don't see them making like a horse's stuff or game pack or anything like that. I feel like that'll be weird. I definitely give it like a 0 to 5% chance of being added to the game, but is it something that I would love to see? Yes, I would play with it. I think it would be awesome. What do you guys think? Do you want horses in the game, and do you think that they're even worth being added? Maybe in The Sims 5, if we have an open world, I'd love to have that type of stuff introduced back in. That would just be really cool. But I still can't get over Grant's response to Shannon. Basically confirmed that we're not getting it by saying nay. Yes, I know he's making a joke, but I just don't see this as something that's gonna get added to The Sims 4. Maybe in The Sims 5 though. Our next tweet comes from Outlaw RW. They tweet, SimGuru Grant, I'm not saying you are working on one, but if you guys ever decide to introduce a color wheel, might I suggest firmly that it include a field of input so I can, for example, use the color A3F0E0 specifically and not have to try and get a best estimate every time. And SimGuru Grant replied, we do not plan to implement a color wheel. No! I'm so sad. Oh my god. See, creative style was something that I did not want in The Sims 4. And I talked about that in the last video. Would it be nice to have? Yeah, it would be nice because, you know, there's more customization, but it's going to cause your game to lag like crazy. It's going to cause so many performance issues, stability issues, and I see why they took it out for The Sims 4. They wanted The Sims 4 to be more user-friendly and run on more machines, specifically laptops. But a color wheel is different. You know, having a color wheel in The Sims 4 is not going to cause performance issues because you're simply just changing the colors of objects. It's one texture, one color, one pattern. You're just changing how it looks. I feel like that could easily be implemented into The Sims 4, and honestly, I don't see an excuse for not adding that. The game would still run fine, a lot of players would be happy, we'd actually be able to match all of our furniture and clothing and stuff for once, instead of having to choose, you know, the set amount of swatches that they give us, or have to recolor things and download recolors with mods. It just, you know, makes this huge process that can be completely avoided by having a color wheel. Would I ever add this to my wish list? Hell yes, 100%. And of course I give it a 0% chance of coming to the game because they have no plans to add it right now. Who knows, maybe even a modder could add a color wheel to the game. If you guys know if that's already a thing, please let me know because I need that ASAP. Our next tweet comes from Blue Moon 2X. They tweet, will the UI get changed at all? I feel like the buttons are all over the place and could be moved to the bottom. Grant quoted that tweet and replied, one of the challenges with UI for The Sims is that it has to work on a huge range of monitors. It has to work on teeny tiny monitors, but also super big modern monitors. It means we sometimes have to spread things apart. And that's a great response because a lot of people that ask these questions don't quite understand the resources and time that go into game development and why they do what they do. I'm sure that EA has had plenty meetings discussing the UI and how they want it to look sleek and modern and be, you know, user friendly and all of that. So this is a great response actually. Am I happy with the UI? Yes, I'm very happy with the UI. I actually did not prefer the UI in The Sims 3. Everything was too clunky, too together, at the bottom of the screen. It was just too much in one place. And I feel the same about The Sims 2 and The Sims 1. The Sims 4 was a great change of pace. I'm glad that they spread things out across the screen. It kind of makes it feel like you have a bigger area to play and see your game. I don't know if that's just me or not. It probably is. You guys are probably like, Matt, what are you talking about? But I love how everything is, you know, condensed down and spread apart. So there's stuff on the bottom, there's stuff on the top left, the top right. And of course it's kept to a minimum. So it's just not super clunky. And I really like how they ditched the solid color too. In The Sims 3, the user interface was like this bluish color, but now it's opaque and you can see through the user interface, which makes it feel like your screen's bigger than it actually is. Our next tweet comes from Grant himself. He tweeted, I'm legit crazy excited about the things being made by the team right now. Some of the coolest stuff. Seriously, I know that's a lame, vague tweet, but next year will be soups cool, fam. Trying to stay current. And of course, new content is being created. He did confirm that, but that's to be expected. The Sims team is always working on something. They have multiple teams. They have an expansion pack team, a game pack team, a stuff pack team. They probably have multiple teams for each thing actually, and are probably working on a crazy amount of things at once. Maybe even multiple packs at the same time. I wouldn't be surprised if they're working on the next expansion pack and the next game pack right now, even though we kind of haven't gotten a stuff pack in a minute, but I don't really care for those right now anyway. What do you guys think we're going to get next year? Leave all of your predictions down in the comment section below. I've been saying this for a while. I really hope University comes next year. I was really hoping it would come this year, especially when they announced that there was another expansion pack and that Sims Camp would be coming to London. I was like, oh my god, guys, it's University. We're finally getting University. And then it was Get Famous, which is a good pack. We needed it, but we really need University now. Okay, I'm tired of waiting. It's a pack that we need. I'm tired of my Sims graduating from high school and jumping into this huge career that they didn't earn. We need Sims to go to college and earn a degree. At least I do. But let me know what you guys think could be coming next year. Not only do I think a new expansion pack is coming, but I think we're probably going to get a new stuff pack and even a new game pack. Next up, we have a tweet from Simmer Will, tweeting Sim Guru Grant, of course, just wondering if we'd be getting any confirmation if Maxis has shifted away from the stuff pack release model, especially in light of MFP stuff, which I actually liked, which is my first pet stuff. You guys remember that atrocity? Didn't mean to pry into unreleased specifics. And Sim Guru Grant quoted that tweet and responded, basically, we are always adjusting, changing, reevaluating how many packs we make, what packs we make, when we make them. Nothing is ever always going to be the same. And you know what I realized? The last stuff pack to be released was My First Pet Stuff, and it came out almost a year ago, guys. We normally get like 2 or 3 stuff packs a year, and we haven't gotten anything since then. And that stuff pack was an atrocity. They basically created a DLC for a DLC, and I will be honest with you guys on that one, even though I'm a game changer, that pack was not a good idea. I'm sorry. Everything in that pack was awesome, but should have came with cats and dogs for free. It just should have. Cats and dogs should have had more furniture, especially because their furniture in that stuff pack matches the furniture in cats and dogs exactly. Like, it should have been a part of the expansion. The rodents that came with that stuff pack should have been part of the expansion. That was just, no. I'm sorry. No. And I know that it really wasn't commercially successful. And now I'm kind of worried because that was the last stuff pack and it's been almost a year. Do you guys think we might not even get any more stuff packs for The Sims 4 now because of that? I feel like they've shifted their focus, and that's what Simmerwill is basically talking about, and that they're really focusing on game packs and expansions. I don't know. What do you guys think? Grant did admit that they're always adjusting and changing the way that they release packs. So maybe they're just gonna stop making stuff packs altogether ever since that one came out. I'm not sure. But leave all of your thoughts down in the comment section below and let me know what you guys think. Honestly, this does concern me in a way because we get less content in The Sims 4, but if we're not getting stuff packs, maybe the quality of the expansion packs will definitely be a lot higher. And if that's the case, I'm all for that. Our next tweet comes from Bianca, tweeting, I think it would actually be super funny if they did the normal Sims fight. Sim Guru Grant quoted that tweet, tweeting, when we make DLC that we sell, it's important that we create new content, new visuals, new moments. If we just did the old slap fight, well, it'd be a letdown, but doing any form of actual fight could consume a huge percent of our animation budget, which is true. I like what they have now. When your Sims get in a fight, a big dust cloud goes up, you see little pound symbols, which the millennials now call hashtags, and you see a bunch of exclamation points, question marks, whatever that they decide to throw in there. But I like the dust bubble because it gives us animations and interactions like that without having to put too many resources into it. So he made a great point. If they made huge detailed interactions, they would use all of their animation budget. Therefore, we would get less interactions with our expansion and game packs and such. So I'm kind of glad they do what they do in the way that they do it. It's very smart. And they do it in a way so that we still get tons of content, but it's not like super vague, crappy content. It's still extremely detailed. But I won't lie to you, having an actual fight in The Sims where you can see every animation, every detail, every movement, that would be cool. But I'd much rather them spend the resources on adding other things to the game. Last but definitely not least, we have a tweet from Fitzy. They tweet, have you considered making it possible to hide gallery items that use packs that you don't own? It's so tough to find lots that only use the random selection of packs that I have. And Sim Guru Grant replied, yes, it's something we need to figure out how to make. There really isn't too much to say about this tweet. It's pretty self-explanatory. I personally don't have this issue because I do own all of the packs for The Sims 4, all of the expansion stuff and game packs. So whenever I find something, I don't have to worry about, if it's in a pack that I own or not. But I do feel for those that don't own all the packs or even own any, to be honest, because then it makes it hard to find and download things because you see this awesome house with all these amazing details and objects and you download it and it all gets replaced by base game content because you don't have expansion and stuff packs. So that would definitely be a feature that I'd like to see in the gallery. Alrighty, you guys, that is going to conclude the topics for today's video, which is part 2 out of 3 of Sim Guru Grant's original Twitter Q&A session that happened this past weekend. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, found it entertaining and very informative. I want you guys to leave all of your responses comments, suggestions, questions, concerns, everything you can think of down in the comment section below, either relating to the topics in this video or maybe not. Even if there's a feature that we didn't talk about today that you really want to see in The Sims 4, please put it down in the comment section below. I'm going to be reading the comments and staring at my phone all night, so I will most likely see it, especially if it gets tons of thumbs up and gets added to the top. I will see it multiple times tonight. I love you guys to the moon and back. I want to thank you all for watching. If you found this video entertaining and informative, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up and add it to your favorites. Subscribe to become a Pixelator today, and don't forget to ding the little bell next to the subscribe button to receive notifications for any future upload. If you click the join button next to the subscribe button or the link down in the description box below, if you don't see a join button, you can become a premium Pixelator, receiving exclusive lemon emojis, a custom lemon badge, daily shoutouts, and much more. I love you guys, and I'll see you all next time. Bye everyone!